me home. Mani Padme Hum. Mani Padme Hum. Mani Padme Hum. DM 666 welcomes you to my drone chat. DM 666 David Bryan Michael Miller of Columbia, Illinois, in the world headquarters of David Bryan Miller Publishing at 989 North Briegel in Columbia, Illinois, 62236. Phone 618-304-6284. Email David Miller 666. Those are numerals. Not work. The 666 part is numerals. David Miller 666 at dm666.org. 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 Sciatisante de Jupiter omnipotens et spiritis sancti angeli in celestia to the scande, to the fande nos, to rest on Justica, to praise her way born with it. Laudi Zeus, Laudi Zeus, Laudi Zeus. Thus saith DM 666. David Bryan Miller, Columbia, Illinois. Every atom in my body thrill with life to make me well. Every molecule within me carry health from cell to cell. All system to organs, built for strength and lasting youth, work in harmony together with the conscious light and That's truth. Whatever I think, whatever I do myself, my senses, be honest, be true. According to Harold Percival from his book Thinking and Destiny. Interesting tome, if you ever come across it. Harold Percival, Thinking and Destiny. I'm trying to remember the year it came out, 1940 something, I believe. Oh yeah, I want to see what's going on here too. See if I can pick this up on here. I lost my viewer. I had a viewer a moment ago. Hey, Domestic Goddess, I want to say hello to you. He said hi to me several times recently. And we missed each other somehow. We're playing tag or something. We're playing comment chat tag or something. Here we go. Oh, yeah, there. I'm just going to meditate here a bit and just try to find my calm center here. There's a viewer there. Is that Domestic Goddess? I wonder if she had said hi earlier and I missed her. Or perhaps it's a different viewer. I can't tell yet. My indicator there shows one viewer. As I said, just bear with me, just relax. I'll try to chat here a bit, but I'm just trying to get in a relaxed state of mind, find my calm center, find my focus. There we go. Turn off that reverb for a moment there. I tried doing some chanting on Valentine's Day. It didn't turn out that well, I didn't think, but then I did one a few hours ago. I thought was okay, and it came out okay. I did because I had some Latin verses I used. That helped out a lot because then I knew what to chant. On how, like this evening or this video too. I'm just impromptu trying to think of what to chant. But I had this book of Latin verses from ancient church music. They've got if you go to Gutenberg Press and look up your ancient Latin chant music, you can find books that'll print out you the Latin versions of these chants. You go back to like 300 AD and stuff from the very beginnings of the Christian church. 300, 400 AD. Some of the oldest church music anyways we got, Now I'm not sure what they sang it like. I'm not sure what melodies they would use. Some of those exist too, though they're very old. I'm not sure how far they go back where they're transcribed. I find the drone very calming. Of course, and I've mentioned before how I hear voices. And it really helps. And they communicate with they know my every thought. And I can hear them like in the sounds of the environment. So we're in this constant interaction with each other, communicating where it's telepathic from me to them, but I can hear them audibly from them to me. But a drone light is real helpful to me where I can hear them real clearly through that. Even when the environment is completely silent, I'll hear them. Even when it's totally silent, I have like a tinnitus that develops. I still hear them. I was wondering if I was deaf, would I still hear them? I believe I probably would. It's almost like they're They're inescapable. But I love them dearly. They've been with me for many years. I started hearing them all the time about more than 25 years ago. And now I think of now as like my guardian angels, I guess, or something along that line anyway. They're very kind and friendly to me. They keep me company. That I never have to be lonely because I've always got them. I've always got them. In fact, but the thing is, like I said, it's involuntary. I can't even turn them off. Even if I wanted to, I can't stop them for 1 second. Which of course leads to some interesting cognitive issues. For example, when I read, I had to retrain myself to read to keep my focus when I'm reading. Because at the same time, that inner dialogue is going on with the voices at all times, at every waking moment. Will I ever figure out who and what they are? Or do they just errant brain activity, or just errant electrical activity of the brain? Are they supernatural beings? Are they aliens? Are they angels? You know, I've entertained all those ideas, but there's no way to validate any of those ideas. So that's why I just call them voices. You know, the jargon, I just refer to them as the voices because there's no scientific way for me to demonstrate they exist at all or anything to somebody else who's not communicating with them as I am. And it's not like you hear the command hallucinations of schizophrenia. It's nothing like that at all. They're not like that at all. They've never suggested I go out and do this or that stupid thing, or this never occurred. But even if they did, I want to do it. I still retain my, my rationality through all this. That's what I try to explain when they put these diagnoses on me that I believe are inaccurate. These labels that they try to apply to me, I believe are invalid and unreliable. Which got me hooked up with my studies with anti-psychiatry, where I really appreciate that perspective. Because even today, just recent, when they came out with the DSM-5, the Diagnostical Statistical Manual 5, how then, I believe it was Health and Human Services, was complaining how it's not scientific. This is just where these psychiatrists get together and they just vote on what ought to be a disorder. But then they medicalize. They're trying to treat it like a medical thing. What's nothing medical about it, There's just labels you apply to people that you think have these various traits or whatever, And then the horrific treatments they employ, these antipsychotic drugs, are so harmful. They kill people. To me, they're genocide drugs. That nobody should be compelled to take those drugs. They're very harmful drugs. They act by crippling the central nervous system. That's therapeutic to do that to somebody. They can cause permanent damage to the nervous system, where people take large amounts of them and for a long time they'll develop what they call tardive dyskinesia, and these other problems, and then the newer antipsychotics, they came out with them a few years ago. Oh, that'd be so much better. They have the same problems, and they have additional problems with the new ones where they cause diabetes and all these other problems that develop. I see it's basically genocide drugs. Now they give them to people. You know, where society and psychiatry has this misconception that these people are going to be violent or going to do some terrible thing, and somebody's psycho and going to, be an axe killer or some crazy stuff, or go hurt a lot. This is not the case with the vast majority of these people, and those who do something, it seems like it's instigated to me many times. You read their backgrounds and what happened to them. That this is instigated by the stress of dealing with others with their situation. But then they give them these drugs that cripple their nervous system so badly that they can't act violently because they're too busy trying to control their own movements and stuff and trying to keep it together because they're being crippled by these antipsychotic drugs. They give them as sedative, as they calm people. Why not use? I say, why not use opiates then? Why not use cannabis and opiates? And these sort of drugs would be much safer than what they're doing. That's another can of worms there. Now, all this talk about the opiates, I don't buy it. A lot of it, maybe with these synthetic ones. There's these issues like this fentanyl and this, but the naturally occurring opiate alkaloids, I believe there's some bad data coming out there. Like I said, when they say that determine a cause of death, well, that's an opinion. That's a medical examiner's opinion. Well, many of the medical examiners are politicians, who then they want to make opiates look bad. Well, then they could. Somebody could die from anything, and then they'll say, well, he had opiates in his system, had morphine in his system, or heroin or something, and say, well, that was the cause. But maybe there was a different cause, and that wasn't the cause at all. But they find it ideologically and for other reasons desirable to treat that as the cause. And I remember, like I said, cases that see in the news where, if you read into the details of an article, that and also cocaine where they say somebody died of a cocaine overdose, for example, where it sounded like what actually happened was the police beat them to death, That they had an interaction with police, the police beat them severely and they died, but then since they had cocaine in their bloodstream, well, then the medical examiner, being a politician and working with police and all, and then says that how was this cocaine or heroin overdose that killed them? Because that was present in their bloodstream when they had been beaten severely, and died from that trauma and all that. Where for years doctors had prescribed me these opiate pain, which I found very helpful for anxiety. They're very good for anxiety and stuff. And presently, I don't take any. Because of this psychiatry, where I had to avoid all medical treatment, because then they got me hooked up. I was hooked up with these psych units and all this, where they're trying to compel you to take the antipsychotics, which was just horrific. But I get some of the benefits from like right in front of you, the poppy seed. I eat a lot of poppy seed, a whole lot of it. I put on all my food. I love it on different food, pizza, hamburgers, just whatever. So I get like this trace amount of morphine in me from that. And that's pretty much what I go with nowadays. It's legal. You can go to the store and buy it and stuff. Contains trace amounts of morphine, codeine, and the other opiate alkaloids. What you want to find is these unwashed seeds. They say because some of these companies like McCormick Company, they charge you $7 for 1 ounce of them, where they've washed all the good stuff off of them, and that takes away much of the flavor as well. Like this brand in front of me here, the Spice Ring, this ring is pretty good. Here you get, for $1, you get 4 ounces of these. I find them at a local grocer that carries that brand, where you get a quarter pound for $1, so that's not too bad. That's $4 a pound. So, see, and people make a tea out, but I don't do that. I put just copious amounts in food. Like I said, I found it was delicious on all kinds of food. Not everything, but many things. Like I said, it's real good on like a pizza, steaks, tacos, hamburgers, soups. Put in soups, all kinds of stuff like that. Something that's not so good as like a rice dish. It's not too good in a rice dish, I found. And there are certain items it's not real good, but most items it is pretty good. I know, it seems. And then I have other over-the-counter remedies that I rely on. I won't go into details about that, but they're also helpful with other conditions I have. I have COPD, and I've been diagnosed with ADHD by one psychiatrist. For 5 years, or a couple years ago, I'd been prescribed Ritalin for 5 years, which I found really helpful. And then when I got that, it was only $7 a month on my Medicare. And all these people instigate all this bullshit about it, and after about 5 years, and she quit giving it to me. It was really traumatic for me. And but I figured out since then other over-the-counter substitutes and stuff for that, and for my pain medicine and stuff. Beyond the poppy seed, there's other stuff out there. That we won't mention here or now, but I'm using a D. The drone we're listening to is D major. I don't know if I mentioned that. I got my keyboard. I'm not sure what voice I have on it there. I think it's St. Michael is the name of the voice. The keyboard voice, my Sonic keyboard or my synthesizer. And then I've got a sustain pedal. I put a weight on it, and I can hit some notes on this. Various voices like this one, and it'll sustain that note forever then, until I take that weight off there, off the sustain pedal. It's real good to chant too, like I said, and just meditate. Just to chill out. If you're ever really stressed out, you might find it helpful. Finding some way to make some drone tones like that. And find perhaps some chants and stuff, maybe. That one I composed myself. But that one I didn't begin. Let's do that one once more. Let's try that again. Scio tu sante de Jupiter omnipotens et spiriti sancti angeli in celestia descende defende nos restore justica praise we born we take laude Jesus laude Jesus laude Jesus Amen. So might it be. Amen. Say it, DM, sex, sex, sex. DM, sex, sex, sex. Oh, Columbia, Illinois, also known as Judaism, Egypt, Judaism, Egypt. At the northern terminus of the Illinois Ozarks. See, they call it Southern Illinois. Let me explain that. They call Southern Illinois Egypt. The Southern Illinois has the nickname Egypt. And then my mom, her name was Julia, but people called her Judy. And then when she passed away, I dedicated her name to the town here in Columbia, Illinois, and made it into Judaism, Egypt. we're Western Egyptians here, you see. This is Western Egypt. Here in North America here. Sort of a parallel universe here. So you're here in the Mississippi River valleys like the Nile. And you have Cahokia Mountains where there's these earthen pyramids, like this enormous Monk's Mound, which has a bigger footprint than the Great Pyramid in Egypt, although it's not as tall. It's only about 100 foot tall, where the Great Pyramid in Egypt is over 400 foot tall. If you ever go to Monk's Mound or Cahokia Mounds, where they did it, they destroyed many mounds. There was a real big one in St. Louis they destroyed years and years ago, like in the 1800s. They were in St. Louis too, where St. Louis stands today. I'm about 10 miles from St. Louis here in Columbia, Illinois. But it's up by Collinsville, Illinois. Is this Cahokia Mounds State Park. And at one time, this Cahokia, it was a Native American city. At one time, it was the biggest city in the world. 1,000 years ago, where it had a population greater than London or any of them at that time. They estimated it was between 20,000 to 100,000 people at one point inhabited Cahokia, and that's where this enormous Monk's Mound is, and numerous other mounds. And also there's what they call Woodhenge there, where they also had something similar to Stonehenge that they used as a calendar. And these Native Americans there, they were supposed to have traded with with other Indians in Canada, and then from even going out of the Gulf of Mexico, and perhaps even South America. it was a very important center at its time, and then mysteriously it vanished around, I believe, 1400 AD. Am I correct on that? If you look it up, it was there for a few hundred years. There, several, I believe, roughly from about 900 AD to 1400 AD. You might want to double check, somewhere around there, 1000 AD to 1400 AD, I believe, where then it suddenly disappeared. But here in the St. Louis metropolitan area, this was originally a big metropolis way back then. Well, you know, maybe I'll go ahead and turn off the camera now for a while. It's nice talking to you all. Oh, let me see something weird. I'm trying to, there's like this weird time delay when I'm seeing this on this other screen over here. I just had the camera pointed at. There's a strange time delay in here. I wonder why it would have that much. It has several seconds delay. You would think it would be more instantaneous than that. It has several seconds delay there. From live streaming to YouTube there. Huh. I don't know if I'll come back later or not, but I'm going to shut off for now. Nice seeing you all. Thanks for watching.